Look at this. We finally got these things home. I almost lost one. Took a corner a little fast. Howdy, me and Luke just pulled up to Delta, Utah. Look what we found. Some old 40s gas pumps. Oh, look at that. It's even glassy. Here comes the guy. All right, I want to give you a closer look at these pumps. We've got a few identifying factors on this one. First of all is the A.O. Smith. So this appears to be a late 50s, early 60s A.O. Smith gas pump. A lot of those were used in Amicos, Texacos, which is what I would hope. I have no idea though what this was used in. Here's a kind of a closer look on the side. Maybe some of you old timers can remember using one like this. This one actually has unleaded, but if you look close, there's a sticker over a leaded gasoline sign, I think. So that's kind of interesting. Dials are there. It looks pretty rusted out. The pump's down there. That looks like a fairly basic setup, just rusted. And then the other one is, I think this one was called a Bowser Company or something. Luke just sent me a good photo of what he thinks it is, and I think he's right. So I'll show that to you right now. So if you look at the photo that I just showed, I definitely could see that. And it's kind of up, the pump handle sits up high, like on that one. One cool feature is the glass here. If you look close, oh, this one's harder to see. On the other side, you can see some kind of agitator. So, and there was a little window on that one that Luke showed, and then where you could actually just see the gas going through, which is super cool. See the old pump down here. And one cool thing I noticed on this, is that not an old bell? See if we can bonk that with something a little harder. Probably sounds better if it actually rings like it should. I'll have to look into that, see if I'm right there. But anyway, this one has a spot definitely for a globe on top. Let's see if I can show you that glass thing over here on the other side better. Yeah, you can, okay, there we go. We block out some of those glares. And you can see that metal in there. I'm guessing as gas goes through that, it would just really swirl it. So, pretty neat. And then the guy we talked to told us this was just what they used on the old farm where they used it. And this is obviously a later addition. They had a paper here with logbook and a piece of plastic over it or something, where the old farmers would pull up and just log what they took or whatever. So that'll probably come off. That's just kind of what happened later in its life. Got a really nice lead sign there. So those are the two finds. Let me get you This side, another sign. Have no idea if that's the original pump handle. Probably not. This one had a cool feature that, like, if it pulled out, it would actually, some of the hose would pull out. Let's see if I can see any of that. Yeah, you can see that rail that goes up. That whole thing would shift down as you pulled out and allow you to pull some hose out. We'll show you that sometime. I don't know if you can kind of see how that works, but see how it goes all the way down around there? Maybe it's that bottom part that came up. One of them, yeah, it's probably that bottom part that came up. As you pulled out, that bottom part would lift up and allow you to take a whole bunch more hose out than is here normally. So it's kind of cool. I used to work at a hose factory in Nephi, NRP, and I saw this hose and thought, geez, for all I know, my grandpa built that hose. Definitely the type of hose they built and that we built when I worked there too. Anyway, got all the dials and everything there. It's pretty rusted out, so you can see some of the colors here. Anyway, so those are our 2 gas pumps. We'll definitely be doing some things with those at some point, but you'll see them as we continue to work or get started working on the tractor. It's been forever. I've been working on getting electrical. That's why I got all the electrical conduit there. Got us a 220. Just need a 110, and then we'll throw a reel up and go crazy. Eventually, we want to get some kind of lighting put up here too. And I've been toying with what to do there, and I'm gonna see if I can figure out what Ben from B&M Garage used, because the ones he's using look pretty nice. They look pretty industrial. They look pretty bright. And so I actually know Ben, his boy's on James's basketball team, so see if I can get it in there and figure out what he ended up buying, because I might buy the same thing. Other than that, I might go something cheap, LED strips or something, I don't know. But we do need some light over here. That is for sure. There's another fixer-up project we got. That old Lincoln welder. Neighbor gave me that, used on his farm. So, and a couple of new items we'll throw up over here when we get time. Luke says he looks at this and just says, I don't know where to start. So I'm probably just gonna start so he can just jump in wherever he feels like it. My thought is get this thing going. Throw the radiator back on, get the hood cleaned up on the inside, painted, put a new gas tank that Uncle Rod bought for it in it, get that part in, then set the hood on, get it running again, and see how it drives. We haven't driven this thing. We've started it up and that's it. So we need to see how it drives. Maybe take this thing over and dump this in Uncle Rod's field just for somewhere to stick it for now, because it's a big old monster taking up 3 feet extra off the front of this. And then we can get to work on focusing on the tractor. Hey, Luke was asking me about this today. Oh, that actually doesn't feel locked up. We might have a little bit of brake, or it's just pretty solid. So I'm hearing some movement though, so maybe we have something on that side. If you come over here on the other side, there's the other, what is this here? Oh, here it is right here on the side. We got a shroud up there, fan shroud. So yeah, this one. Okay, we got a little bit of movement there. That's probably clutch, looks like. And then this one is just, that one's locked up. Oh, unless it's down. Oh, that might be okay. It just doesn't spring back. So that's where we're starting. Uncle Rod wants to do the brakes, so we'll see if we can get it out driving. We'll see what it's got for brakes. Gosh, these things just fit in perfect here. Love it. Rocky comes and hangs out with me. So anyway, that's where we're at. I'll finish up some electrical and then we'll get going. Okay, so we're finally gonna move on this 110, 120, whatever you want to call it. Talked to Luke and he had a good idea. We're just gonna take another one down, shoot it over, and he's thinking he wants it a little farther down the road wall there, so we'll do it right there. And then we'll end up sticking like a extension cord reel right there. So let's go ahead and get that done, and then I'm gonna turn this panel on. It's high time. Some good progress for just a little bit of work here. Got that other outlet box in, ready to go, all secured. Just need to throw some wire through it. And I'll throw in that other breaker. And then we'll temporarily pause on electrical so we can start doing more fun stuff. So we'll finish this up in a little bit, probably tomorrow, and we'll get back on things. All right, it's the next day. Gonna get back on this electrical here. It is hot out here. I need to get a thermometer so we can see, but it is really hot right now. Late afternoon, hot. Anyway, power's off, confirmed. I'm gonna finish wiring this up. This, you need to use this THHN, and I'm gonna use 12 gauge just because I want some nice 20 amp breaker to be put in there. So get that all wired up and see if we can't get some 110. The eventual goal here is to get me and Higgy actually working on projects here and not in the garage. We got one other thing to solve, and that's air, but we'll figure that out. Anyway, we'll finish this up real quick and go from there. Time for a power test. See if everything sparks and blows up on me. Okay, that's a good sign. Bare essentials. Alright, so here's what it looks like. Of course, I lost my screw in the gravel, so never find that again. Have to find something to get in there. Here is my 220, 240, whatever it takes. Then 110, 120, whatever. Oh, let's see. Okay, haven't flipped these on yet. So we got the 20 amp hooked up. Okay, there we go. 50 amp. On. See if it looks like we got power here. Reset. Oh, there we go. That one's on. And that one's on. Let's test them. Boop. Boop. Okay. Well, we got 110, 120, whatever it takes. Okay, so that'll get us something. Now we can do some work over here. Feel free to mock me or comment on how terrible all this is. I'm kind of used to it on my electrical, but I don't think it looks too bad, really, honestly. But I'm no expert either. But anyway, got to clean up my giant disaster. And I think we'll probably leave it there for this time. Let's, next video, we're going to try and get going on something here, I think. We'll talk to you next time.